I recently started representing some actors on the autism spectrum as a manager. So I work with a management firm called Sandstone Artists here in Los Angeles. And so I came on board to start their neurodivergent division. And we have 12 actors on the spectrum, and one of whom you probably know and have heard of, Danny Bowman, who's one of the regulars, the fan favorites on Love on the Spectrum.
Hello, this is Rita, and this is me and my mommy's podcast, and then my mommy, and there's me, and I'm just talking about this stuff, and there's me tap dancing, because this is the Tap Dancing / Autism podcast, and there's a bunch of animals, and I'll be trying to eat my hair, and there's a bunch of sand in the ocean. Also, there's all the soul talk stuff, I love all my names, and also, yes, like life stuff and tap dancing. Oh, and also there are my boots. My boots are amazing. Also, there's me, trying not to have a panic attack. Also, this is a podcast about me, autism, and tap dancing, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just ADHD in this thing. Also, there's my cute, adorable puppy.
You want to go ahead and start the show, Lita?
Okay, I've been waiting for basically forever now. You talk so much. Okay. That's my mom, who took forever. That person who also took forever was my mom. I'm Lita. This took forever to start.
Hey, Marlene, thanks for joining us again. We are really excited you said you'd come back on the podcast. I have so many questions to ask about what's going on out in your neck of the woods. But for those of our listeners and our audience members who didn't get a chance to hear you back in December, do you mind introducing yourself and telling them a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Yes. My name is Marlene Sharp, and I live in Los Angeles, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, but I've lived in Los Angeles for a number of years. And I work with several autism nonprofits, mostly performing and visual arts nonprofits in Los Angeles, supporting them in a variety of different ways. I like to call it special projects. I don't know if you can see my air quotes, but special projects, because I come up with lots of wild and crazy ideas, and my autism nonprofits are usually good enough to let me try to implement them if they don't sound too scary. But I have a background in producing and writing and creative executiving, and I've worked a lot in merchandise-driven entertainment, which is a lot of cartoons that you've probably heard of, cartoons, TV series, and movies that are mostly targeted towards kids and families, but they are also intended to sell consumer products to kids and families. So a lot of toy and video game property. So Sonic the Hedgehog is probably the most well-known IP that I worked on, but a lot of other Japanese franchises like Power Rangers and Digimon, and Pink Panther, Postman Pat, and a number of others. So I still have a foot in that world as well. But then I do PR and marketing and special projects for other folks, and that includes the autism nonprofits like Autism and Entertainment and Orange County Asperger's Support Group and Spectrum Laboratory.
It seems every time I get on Facebook, you are pushing another event for those three organizations.
We do a lot of events. Yeah. And it's great because it brings everybody together for common goals, of course, which is, so my goal, as well as Autism and Entertainment, is employment for people on the autism spectrum. So there's so many other issues that affect our community, but that's really our goal, is to get people working in meaningful careers. And there's so much talent in the autism community, and Los Angeles is a company town, so why not try to put employers together and talented people on the spectrum together. So that's everything that we do really has that focus to it. And it might sound like fun and games and, entertaining things and so forth, but it's all working towards that common goal.
It is a huge goal because unemployment is super high within the autism community. And I know I'm preaching to the choir on that one.
Yes.
But when I talk to people about like what we're doing with Autistic Wings Dance Company and Lita's platform, they're always like, well, the arts must be full of people who understand how to work with autistic people.
No, it's full of people in denial. People in denial who are actually on the spectrum themselves, but don't feel that they are. And really, you can't blame folks because certain generations were not diagnosed with it, and unfortunately the problem still persists a lot with girls and women. They're less likely to be diagnosed than men for a variety of reasons. But if people think that autism doesn't affect them or is neurodivergent thinking and the neurodivergent community is not something that applies to them, then they're not going to be as empathetic. It doesn't. They could be, but it's a stretch. So part of what we do with the various nonprofits that I work with is to familiarize people with what it means to be on the spectrum and how neurodivergence really includes so many other things that people have heard of, and mental things that were formerly classified as mental health issues like obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety. That all falls under neurodiversity, and there's a lot of that in this business for sure.
Just a little bit. Dyslexia and dysgraphia and dyscalculia are also under the neurodiversity.
Yeah, so much. And so people just don't know. And I think once they realize, oh, it is me. It's me and it's my family and friends, it's people, my coworkers, then they open up to it. But yeah, it takes a while. It takes a lot of people to get that message out. And people oftentimes don't want to be preached to. So it's serving that message in an ice cream and cake kind of way instead of peas and carrots.
I know we've been talking amongst some of our friends who are in the industry, and some of the accommodations Lita needs, like, I'm not going to look you in the eye. Please do not force me to look you in the eye. And I don't like it when you're staring at me. I'm like, is it possible that all your writers that are like, do not look and do not speak to the talent are not because you're just super famous, but because you're autistic?
It could be. Yes, it very well could be.
What were you going to say, Lita?
I'm pretty sure no one likes being stared at because being stared at for uncomfortable amounts of times when the other person isn't even trying to speak to you. It's more like, okay, are you freaking about whether or not to stalk maybe a creep, or are you just very, very, very socially unaware about social cues? Cues. Do the English right today.
Yes, it is uncomfortable to be stared at. So I totally understand. And when you have anxiety, to also feel pressure to look someone in the eye, if you feel intimidated, it's nearly impossible for anybody, I would think. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of the accommodations really should just be common sense and common courtesy to all people. Like, why force a certain way of thinking or behaving on anyone unless it's harmful? You don't want people to be injured for whatever reason, but as long as it's promoting communication, but maybe some people have different ways of communicating. What's wrong with that? And I recently started representing some actors on the autism spectrum as a manager. So I work with a management firm called Sandstone Artists here in Los Angeles. And so I came on board to start their neurodivergent division. And we have 12 actors on the spectrum, and one of whom you probably know and have heard of, Danny Bowman, who's one of the regulars, the fan favorites on Love on the Spectrum. So she's one of my clients. And then I have another client who's not as well known, but he will be. His name is Atticus Jackson. And he just booked a role on a short film, a very prestigious short film. And he and his mom and I were putting our heads together about what accommodations we would request for, and luckily this was a Screen Actors Guild production, so a lot of those protections are built into the SAG contract. But we decided, just to be extra safe, we would request a certain amount of things, and they were so after Atticus's mother finished listing her top priorities, I thought, like, this is crazy that this doesn't apply to all actors. Like, why can't all actors have a comfortable chair to sit in between like, that was one of the requests, a comfortable chair, close proximity to the bathroom, bathroom breaks. It's really sad that you have to request, and that's and this production was spectacular, stellar, and they were prepared to do everything and above and beyond. But before we got to know the director and all of that, we were just being extra prepared, because you don't know what you will encounter on set. But yeah, shouldn't that be standard for all
normal
people? Yeah, I think most people need to use the bathroom during a work day. So
Lita gets really overwhelmed with noises. She's an amazing tap dancer. She does not get overwhelmed with tap, but like clapping, talking to people, being in busy rooms, those headphones are on her. I am giving her artistic director / choreographer a hard time, because the last shoot we did, she knows this, full out knows it, did not check her to make sure her headphones weren't around her neck in the middle of the shoot.
Oh dear.
My water bottle too. I forgot my water and my snacks.
But guess whose headphones are in half of her shots?
Oh, oh well.
But she uses her headphones like, a weighted vest or a blanket, and they're just so used to seeing it. They just went, oh, oopsie.
They should have probably just let me keep wearing them for the rest of the shoot, so it didn't look like we might have shot it the day after the beginning. So it didn't look like we shot it on 2 different days, because we shot it on one day, but because I had my headphones on my neck on one part and my headphones off of my neck on the other part, it looks like we shot it on 2 different days. They should have just let me keep the headphones, that way they look like we shot it on 2 different days.
They didn't have anyone for continuity issues. Obviously, who cares about that when it's just a dance video, right?
Oh no. Well,
but it looks great. But that shouldn't be something that you should have to put into a rider or into your contract, going, hi, can I, when I'm not on set, when I'm not in front of the camera, can I have my headphones around my neck?
Right. Yeah, it just seems like that it's your time. So if that's the way you prepare, if that's the way you stay in character, it would be one thing if you wanted to maybe practice sword fighting and you could potentially poke someone's eye out, but I think
anyone ideas. Because
but
I have ideas.
not that there's anything wrong with sword fighting, but just not around other people when you're close. But headphones will not hurt anyone. So
no, but she's had so many dance studios, because you know how loud studios can get. when everyone's talking, and she puts those headphones on to deal with her noise issues. And they're like, well, one, she can't have a noise sensitivity issue because she doesn't have a problem with loud music and with tap dancing. And I'm like, it's a spectrum here, people. And two, they're like, well, she just can't wear them because I feel like she's not paying attention to me talking to the adults. And I'm like, I mean, she's a child.
Listen to your conversations.
Yeah.
Unless they're like not stupid ones. Also, plus, I don't want to hear your conversation in front of a bunch of children about your relationship.
She has definitely hit teenage years, Marlene.
What do you mean, definitely? It's a 1-3. I'm also 1-4. Like, indubitably.
But yeah, now that you're managing, because I did not realize you were managing, I think we need managers specifically for a lot of the people on the spectrum who know what's going on. Because I love her management company to no end. I think they only understand her because I am pretty sure they're not neurotypical.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but you know, they're my age, so there was not a lot of diagnosing back then.
What are you
Right.
talking about?
But it would be so helpful to have these big management companies and even the smaller boutiques have people on staff who understand the autism needs.
Right, right. Or at least are willing to learn. If you don't already know and you're just open-minded, that's the main thing we look for in potential employers is just a willing spirit. We realize that not every company, and it'll actually be sort of rare to have a special neurodivergent hiring initiative or retention initiative, but just start with compassion and then common sense a lot of times, and go from there. But so far, the management at Sandstone that I've been working with and through is very new, and we just I guess maybe the beginning of May was really when we got started in earnest. But we've had some bookings so far, which is great, and so far none of the producers who've booked our talent have not been understanding. It helped that in one of the bookings, it was the role was an autistic character, so that the expectations were there, and they wanted authenticity in the performance and in the actor. But the other bookings have not been specifically for autistic characters, and they've been very. I was on set for one of them, and it was really a wonderful experience for everybody involved. And it was just nice, courteous, positive environment.
You have piqued Lita's interest with an autistic character being played by an autistic actor. She's just like, are they actually doing that in Hollywood now? She's just excited that they're starting to book autistic actors for autistic roles.
Yeah. In this case, yes. And but you know what? I submit all of my actors for non-autistic roles too. If they want to play those roles, and I don't feel that it's necessary to disclose unless it's relevant on maybe on set, and if it feels like it's not a SAG shoot and the precautions won't be taken, and then it's worthwhile to disclose and make sure everything's in order. But most of my actors, they want to play neurotypical roles, and if they're hired to and they can do it, why not? Why do they have to disclose? Just let them go.
No, you shouldn't have to. I do think autistic actors can do neurotypical roles. It's nice to see autistic actors suddenly getting, because how many autistic roles have there been where they're having neurotypical people play the part?
Oh yeah, and I think that's quite common with a lot of disabilities. I think there was a study that was published fairly recently. I think SAG does these studies every year, and then there are probably other advocacy groups and nonprofits that also study the depictions of folks with disabilities and such on camera. And yeah, there's not a lot. It's not a guarantee. For sure, it is not a guarantee. If a character is disabled, that it will be played by a disabled person. And then I've heard the counter argument from the side of the producers that, oh, well, we feel that this role would be too difficult for somebody who has a disability, or it would be insulting, but it seems that that's not, it shouldn't be, let the person decide. If they feel that they can handle it, then why not? You know, because certainly the opposite is true. But people who are neurotypical don't really think twice about playing, because that's just acting.
Yeah.
So we're all actors here. If the part is close to us personally, great. But sometimes it's a stretch. But at least give everybody an equal shot.
It's that shot and that chance to be there that is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which Arts and Entertainment is doing a great job of getting the info out there and pushing it forward. That I said Arts and Entertainment. I meant Autism and Entertainment. It's been a long day.
Don't you mean a long year?
It's been a long year.
See, that one seems more practical and real. Because that's the truth.
But because you are doing a lot of advocacy work with them and getting the idea out there, that I don't think it's that big of a stretch, some of these accommodations that you need to be an autistic person on set.
Right. That's right. They're not a big deal at all. And certainly if you compare them to some of the name actors requirements, those requests, wow. I mean, we're not talking about luxury trailers or special food, like gourmet cooking or anything like that. We're talking close proximity to a bathroom and breaks to drink some water and snack breaks and things like that. Very simple requests.
Lita would like to add lunch breaks sometimes to her rehearsal schedule. She's like, if we're in 5 hours, would you like to give me a lunch break?
Get off at insert any curse word to your time. Also,
okay, that's never happening.
Please, just remember that I need freaking lunch at different time zones, and that I'm getting on when all you people are getting in there at like 10, and at my time it's 11, and I have lunch when you people have it at 12, and I have it at 1, and I am already starving by that point. So please, can we just have lunch on time? And why would you even mention that you didn't have breakfast the morning of?
So Soul Talk may sometimes go through lunch, and they're all at different time zones, and they base everything off the LA time zone.
I start at 11 a.m. I have lunch at 1 a.m. 1 p.m. They have lunch at 2 freaking ever 11:30 because they, well, 2 F 11 freaking 30 my time, but they have it at 1:30 their time, I'm pretty sure. And at this point, I'm just going, why do I live? Why do I live? Also, how will all you people not label tizzies, because all you people are definitely tizzies the way you skip lunch.
She's close to her choreographer, so she can say things that other people couldn't say if they weren't very close to their choreographer.
I wasn't meaning just a choreographer.
I know.
Yeah. But that can happen in an office too. I've been in office situations where we blow through lunch and it's just expected that you're going to stay the duration for some meeting that's excruciating and not complain about it, not ask for any food or drink or break or anything like that. And it's hard for just human beings to sustain that kind of endurance.
Which is why it shouldn't be an accommodation, just should be for all of us, should have lunch written into our schedule somewhere.
Yeah. And it's important for women too, especially sleep and food for our blood sugar and hormones and things like that. Not that men don't need sustenance as well, but women have that extra burden.
And it's not just the food with those accommodations. Like, you should not have to just ask for a comfy chair. They should just be provided at your workplace.
Yeah, I agree. But we're just trying to take baby steps and also praise the places that all offer that as just standard, and yay, we so appreciate what you're doing, and then that encourages others to continue in that way.
Have you ever had someone look at your accommodations and start going, how are these accommodations? Shouldn't this just be something I'm giving my actor?
Oh, yeah. Well, I personally have not been in a situation where anybody's complained to me for setting something up incorrectly or but let's see. I do know when we produced the Autism and Entertainment Conference last year, there was a lot of thought that went into chill out space for people and what would be in the room, the stimulus free room, or the comfortable, like a green room for everybody. And then also we prepared for people to come to the conference who had not registered. So and sure enough, there were a lot of people who came who were not registered, and so we set up for that. We had TV monitors so that people could watch the various presentations if there wasn't space in the rooms. And so we were very mindful. We tried to really cover all the bases, and we do that at our neurodivergent comedy nights too at the Laugh Factory. The Laugh Factory's been really great about helping us with a chill out room and just setting an environment that's comfortable for everybody and not just neurotypical people. So we're trying, but
I kind of think the neurotypical people could use a chill out room every now and then.
Yes. Do you know, I went, I recently had a business trip. I went to Spokane, Washington, and I went to see a stage production. It's a podcast that was traveling, and they did a stage presentation of the podcast. And so I don't know, I guess I had a long day, and there was no intermission, this was the issue. And I really, A, had to go to the bathroom, and B, I was thirsty and felt a dip in my blood sugar, like I needed a soda or something. So I just got up in the middle of the show, and there's this beautiful, in the theater, it's called the Bing Crosby Theater, there's this beautiful mezzanine level with a bar, a snack bar, you can buy snacks and drinks, and it's so brilliant. They project the show on the wall in the bar so that if you want to sit there and have a drink in the middle of the show, you can do it. You're not really missing anything. So that's what I did and then I started talking to the bartender and another person there, and I had the best time. And I wasn't even in my seat. I spent a good bit of the show in the bar, and it was really enjoyable. And I thought, wow, I wish every theater would have something like this, because it's so civilized. And especially if you're going to a live show, and there's not an intermission. Sometimes there's just not an opportunity to break in the show for whatever reason. And but people in the audience might need that break, so why not?
And intermission can get a little overwhelming depending on where you are, because everyone gets out of their seat and rushes to the restroom.
Right. It's like a stampede. Yeah, and especially if there aren't that many bathrooms and then there's a line, that can be very stressful.
What do you want to
If you're
say?
the one on stage, you can barely get the snack because you have to be back on stage at who knows how long. Also, the audience is using the bathroom when you have freaking time to use the bathroom, and the backstage bathroom just has 2 freaking bathrooms. That's literally just girl bathroom, boy bathroom with only one freaking never-loving toilet, so it's only one person per needing to use the bathroom, so you can't even use the bathroom, so you're panicking that you're gonna pee in your costume. Oh man, you can't even grab your water because you need to pee so bad. And in the end, you have to make sure you get back on stage when you need to, and you can't really be really near the audience, because if you're really near the audience, they know how much you have no time to get back on stage, because that's too long of a freaking walk, and the freaking backstage is freaking main sets freaking life.
Yeah. So she's been in a few
why your ballet
theaters?
shoes got freaking stolen by a freaking 4-year-old woman that for some reason has a freaking grudge against you that you didn't even know that you were supposed to be feuding with because you were 6.
Autistic kids can hold grudges or hold information for a long time. I don't think people understand how long autistic people remember stuff.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
When she was 6 and 7, the Nutcracker she was in, the backstage only had 2 restrooms for them to use for the entire cast. Really, people who work with autistic kids need to understand they will never forgive you. You get one chance to mess up and then they remember forever. I did want to talk about, Autism and Entertainment and Spectrum Labs and everything, because both of which are nonprofit, correct?
That's right.
I'm going to make sure the donation links are in the description below. It seems like you guys are always having way too much fun with Spectrum Labs every time I get on Facebook and see what you guys are up to.
Spectrum Laboratory has so much going on. It's really amazing, and they're very dedicated to getting the students on stage or in a film if they're in the film program. So there are opportunities to study acting on camera and voiceover and improv for stage, and then also stage productions. And then there's a whole music department. So the music department is playing instruments, but it's also vocals and music production. So they learn recording and sound engineering, mixing, editing, all that. And then there's a huge effort to put everybody together to present these skills, so they're not just learning and practicing in class. So we actually last week we did a staged reading of an original musical film script that is intended to be the first theatrical feature film that Spectrum Laboratory will be producing. They've done a lot of short films, and you can see Danny Bowman and a number of the other folks from Love on the Spectrum, like Abby Romeo, has been in a lot of Spec Labs productions through the years, but it's only ever been short films and music videos. Now they would like to stretch and do a feature film. So last week we did a staged reading of this original script called Caverns and Chimeras, and all the music is composed by Spec Labs students. So that's another aspect of the music program is composition. And so all the music is original, and it was an invitation only audience. So the point was, it's kind of like a backers audition in theater where you're trying to raise the money to do the production. So we invited a special audience. No tickets. We didn't sell any tickets. It was just people in the industry who we thought could help raise money or raise awareness so that we could get this production going. And then this weekend coming up, Spectrum Laboratory, the music, the Spectrum Records is the music division, has a concert in Hollywood. And there are a lot of concerts that happen, and they're at cool venues in Hollywood too. It's not like your average school band concert. No, these are rock concerts, and they're at venues that people would go to drink and have fun, and consider it a night on the town. So there's a concert happening on Sunday in Hollywood, and it's hard to keep up because there's always an opportunity for the students to perform or showcase, or they've completed a film and it's in a film festival or something like that. Very active.
You guys need to bring the Sundance is coming to Colorado in 2027, so you guys have to come out here to Boulder.
Wow, it will be in Boulder? Is that
it will be in Boulder? They have decided they are moving from Utah to Boulder.
Wow, yes, I've heard that, and I've read about it online, but I didn't realize it was 2027. That'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah.
I've been to Sundance a couple of times many years ago in Park City, and it's great. We have participated in film festivals, certainly submitting our films, and when they're in Los Angeles or within close proximity, we try to attend. We'll be attending Autism and Entertainment will be at San Diego Comic-Con next month because we have a documentary short that we produced in conjunction with Spectrum Laboratory. So Spec Labs had an event, it was last fall, where Jorge Gutierrez, the famous director, animator, artist, he spoke about his late in life diagnosis of autism and how he feels that it has enhanced his art career through his life, but he just didn't realize what it was until his son was diagnosed with autism, and then he received his diagnosis. So anyway, we did just like a 3 or 4 minute documentary about this presentation that Jorge did, and we made a little, it's a film about it, and we entered it into the San Diego Comic-Con Film Festival, and we got in. So a bunch of us.
That is impressive.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're going to go down to San Diego, and there will be a screening. Jorge will be there. We're going to have a panel afterwards. And we did it last year, too. We had our mini documentary about Danny Bowman was in the San Diego Comic-Con Film Festival. And it was just such a beautiful experience. And there were so many fans of Danny in the audience who came to the show, and they were all, woo, Danny. And we were in a programming block with a lot of other films because it's just a short film. Our Danny Bowman film was only 5 minutes long, so there were a lot of other things in that block, but a big chunk of the audience was there to see Danny and hear her on the panel afterwards. So it was a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing. I mean, and San Diego Comic-Con is not an easy one to get into.
No, it's great exposure. So we're very happy for the platform that they give us, a literal platform, which we didn't realize. They tell you ahead of time to expect a Q&A afterwards, but it's a full-on Comic-Con panel. Which comes with all the bells and whistles, which is really nice. The Comic-Con is very, very generous to people who are in the film festival. So, yeah, we were grateful for that. And so we're gonna go down from Los Angeles. Some of us are in Orange County. Judy Utah, who's the head of Autism and Entertainment, the founder, she lives in Orange County, but we'll all be going down there and participating. So that'll be a lot of fun.
We cannot wait to hear all the stories from that, because that is going to be amazing. And that is a huge platform.
Yeah. And it's really it's great exposure, great for our social media afterwards, because last year we had video that was taken of our panel, and we put that on our website. We put it in our merch store, our Autism and Entertainment merch store, because we all wore our t-shirts, and yeah, it was just wonderful all the way around. So we'd love to be in Sundance. I'm the one who does the film festival submissions, and quite frankly, I've been too intimidated to even go for Sundance, because I feel like that's the cream of the crop, and we are good, but I don't know that we could compete against
you never know until you try.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess we just need to go for it.
You do need to just go for it. I mean, Sundance is the cream of the crop. We all know Sundance is the cream of the crop, but if you could get into Sundance,
yeah, that would be quite a feather in our cap, to say the least.
Oh yeah. And it would be obviously way too much fun for all the kids involved in the laboratory and with everything.
Yeah. Maybe that could be our goal for 2027. So then we can come and see you guys, and you can be our cheering section for the screening and all that.
We will drive up to Boulder. It's only a couple hours away. And you guys can come down. Hopefully by then we will have our new building that we're raising funds for right now. Knock on wood, we get the funds this year. We just started the fundraiser, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, did you hear Lita has a tap shoe?
Oh, yes, I saw it. I saw it on your social media. The beautifully
the men that thought the grown men that thought hip hoppers before them. I got my own custom before them, and I didn't.
She's really excited.
Oh yes, it's amazing. I saw it. It's a work of art, really.
They're having to change a little bit about it because they couldn't source the blue that they thought they could source, but they are going to sell it to the general public.
Amazing. And this is the same shoe company that's been your partner for a while now, right?
It's Sodansa. They're number 3 in the world. So her shoe just got off the prototype. I am like, wow, we have gone somewhere where I'm talking prototype shoes here, right? The prototype just came off the line. It is supposed to be shipping from Brazil today. And as soon as she has it in her grubby little paws and approves it, it will be approved for production. And I'm like, I am not looking forward to doing another one of these. This was a little more stress than I thought we all thought it would be.
Product approvals are no joke. I've worked in that realm because with licensed entertainment and branded entertainment and merchandise driven entertainment, there's a lot of approvals, and it's all usually tied into the products that are sold to the public. And wow, that can take forever just to get the tooling just right.
And marketing hadn't talked to production.
Until I get my shoes in my grubby hands. How much longer until
I don't know, however long it takes to get from Brazil. She's been counting down the days.
So it can be my grubby hands.
Wow.
You know how it is when you're trying to get that prototype in your hand, and I think it might be worse when you're a teenager trying to get your prototype in your hand.
My grubby hands, so still help me.
It's excruciating to wait. Yes, of course. And oh gosh, but think about when the package comes. Oh, so much to celebrate.
Yes. There will be screaming. There will be a whole social media thing.
And then I will go to Hollywood, and then I will say, hello, men who are like a freaking adult. I got my customs before you, and I am 13, so haha. You will never live this down. I will never not stop mentioning this until you're dead. Haha.
Getting your shoe is a big thing in the dance world.
I got it before.
For athletes too. That's like that's the mark of success. Not just success, but you've made it. You're a superstar at that point.
And I love how some of our families at the studio are like, oh, that's so sweet. And I'm like, yeah. they're new to the dance world, they're new to the entertainment world, and they're like, that's sweet. And I'm like, it is sweet, but it's also like a huge achievement.
I am God.
It's badass.
But
You're joining the ranks of Michael Jordan and Steph Curry and all the others who have their own shoes.
Not that good. Not that good.
Yes, that good.
Not
that
that
good. Maybe even better, because yours is a tap shoe. And we all know that tap shoes are better. They're just better.
Again, then.
Tapping, I like tapping better than sports any day.
Imposter syndrome is a thing.
Imposter syndrome is a thing. I don't have imposter syndrome. You have to be important to have that. I am not important. You have to be like a important person important to have that. And I am not an important person important.
Girl, you are important. I'm here to tell you. Get used to it. You've got your own shoe.
No.
That's you. It's only upward and onward from here.
Dig it.
It's
Dig it. How did I even get into this position? Dang it. I feel like 6-year-old me is screaming, going, you ruined the plan of life, which is just stay in the small town. You ruined the plan.
I think everyone in Hollywood has imposter syndrome, though.
It is fairly common, and those who say that they don't have it are pretending, probably. They're just masking.
So how can people best support Autism and Entertainment, Spectrum Laboratories, and everything you're doing out there?
Well, all the nonprofits, so Autism and Entertainment, Orange County Asperger Support Group, and Spectrum Laboratory, as well as most of the entertainment partners, the educational partners of Autism and Entertainment, of which there are about 20, maybe 22 by now. I think all but maybe one or two are nonprofits that accept donations. So, of course, that is welcome. And Autism and Entertainment started a membership program this year. So the membership program has 3 components to it. You can join as an individual member for $10 a month, and that comes with additional perks. So a lot of our offerings, especially the virtual offerings, are free, but you can really take advantage of extra networking opportunities. And if you're in Los Angeles, we have a lot of in-person events that are only open to members. So you really get your money's worth. It's only $10 a month, so but you get way more value than that. And that's for individuals. And then we also have educational partner annual memberships and corporate annual memberships. And so it's all detailed on the website. And then for Spectrum Laboratory, they are accepting donations for this feature film, Caverns and Chimeras. And Spec Labs generated a QR code for the stage reading that we did last week to make it easy for people to just scan and donate. And there's also a donation portal on the website. And Orange County Asperger Support Group, that's the parent organization of Autism and Entertainment, and donations are accepted on that website too.
And if they want to come see any of the shows, is the best way to find out what's coming up next, to follow everyone on socials, to sign up for a newsletter? What's the best way to find out what's happening?
Yeah, I would say visit the websites and yes, sign up for the newsletters. So Autism and Entertainment and Orange County Asperger Support Group have quarterly newsletter. Actually, Orange County Asperger Support Group newsletter is monthly, and Autism and Entertainment is quarterly. Spectrum Laboratory has a blog, and then also social media. There's always posts about what's going on with social media, or what's going on is posted on social media rather, and rest assured there's always something going on. It's usually like several times a month. You could be either going to an in-person event, because we have, especially with Autism and Entertainment, we've been fortunate to partner with a lot of organizations that have supported us and give us their expertise or their venue as part of their donation. And although we do need funding, we haven't been able to do another conference because we don't have the funding for a big conference like we had last year. So so big donors, yoo-hoo, if you're out there, we would love to know you. We would love to talk to you about doing another big conference. So,
and they don't have to be entertainment related to be a donor, right? For a big donor?
No, we'll take anybody's donation. We're not picky. Yeah, it could be anybody.
We were at an event this weekend where someone's like, do I have to be autism? And I'm like, you are a multi-international company. I will take your money no matter what.
The money.
Yeah. Especially a lot of big companies have a whole dedicated division. Social responsibility is oftentimes called, or sometimes more than one initiative if the company is big enough. Like Disney has several causes that they support. And then sometimes they'll even match donations if an employee makes a donation somewhere and submits a receipt or a proof of it, then the company as an employer will match the donation, and that's really nice too.
It is, but I just wanted to make sure, because after we had that, and I'm like, yeah, no, I just want to make sure people know that any large corporation, you'll take their money.
Yes, anybody, large, small, individual, group. Yes, bring it.
Are you guys doing bundlers and crowdsourcing with any of the organizations? If someone's like, I would love to go bundle $500,000 for you, can they contact you and do that sort of stuff?
We haven't done that yet, but yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to organize it for us, yes. And crowdfunding, I've done crowdfunding for consulting clients of mine, like Kickstarter campaigns, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and the expectation is very high, especially if you're an entertainment entity or you're promoting something entertainment. The expectation is that you're gonna be serving up A+ content every day of your campaign, and you're gonna be very engaged, and it's a big expense and it's a big commitment just to do the crowdsourcing. So I usually advise against it.
I'll send you some of the info on the nonprofit crowdsourcing, because it's not as bad as what it is in the industry.
Okay. Yeah,
it uses the same name, but it's not. It's like, go grab all your friends in Aspen and ask them to write a check.
Yeah, if it's something that is not labor intensive, because that's another thing that we don't have a lot of bodies to contribute to a Kickstarter campaign. It's very labor. It's like producing if you're going to produce a film, then if you're going to produce the Kickstarter campaign, you might as well just produce the film, or if it's a short film, especially, because
it uses the same name, totally different idea, but they do all the hard work for you, and just go get all their really it's like the bundlers in politics. They get their name on everything, and they go out and do all the hard knocking on doors and asking for the donations.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
I'll send you the info. Because that's where I was like, can they do this? If you do not have to go out and do the fundraising, if someone else does all that for you, are you into that?
Yes.
Okay, we're at 59 minutes.
I know we're wrapping this up
real quick. If you want this to go an hour, you probably should wrap this up. So blah blah blah. Where can they find you on socials? Blah 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 blah. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm on socials, especially LinkedIn. So if you really are desperate to find me, go on LinkedIn, because I'm there all the time. And my company is called Pink Poodle Productions. So I have a company page on LinkedIn, and then I'm on Facebook and all the usual places as me, Marlene Sharp. And yeah, I'm pretty obvious. If you Google me, you will find me for sure, because I'm all over the place.
Probably with a few pictures of you with Sonic stuff.
Yeah, yes, those exist too. Yes, me cosplaying as various things, me with my dog. These are commonplace on the internet.
Thank you so much for coming on again. We really appreciate it. After you guys are done with Comic Con, we'd love to have you on to talk about it. When you guys
Sure.
get the funding, whenever you have something to publish, call us up and we'll hop on and do an episode, Marlene.
This is an hour.
Yes. Absolutely. And a shout out to podcastguest.com, which is the entity that brought us together. And wow, what a magnificent fit this has been.
I know. The different podcasting networks out there that help get guests and podcasters together have just been amazing to get us all what we need.
Keep going and we keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I agree.
She's just here to watch the time half the time, Marlene.
Really an hour and somewhat minutes into this.
Well,
she's producing.
She's producing.
Yes, somebody's got to do it. That's a very important job. So thank you. Thank you, Lita.
We will let you get back to the rest of your day. Thanks so much for coming on, Marlene.
Thank you. It's a pleasure as always.
Bye.
Everyone, good
All
day,
right.
good afternoon.
Take care.
Hello, thank you for watching the podcast, and please subscribe and also look at the adorable paper. So if you want to subscribe for it, and also please leave a like. And don't forget, if you subscribe to our stuff, you won't miss any of our new podcast stuffies. And also, did you see the adorable paper? Don't you like it?